welcome to the channel, folks. And it's something a bit different today because I am not in a Ford. I am in, for those that obviously can spot it straight away, a GTR, but not just any GTR. This is Kev McDowell's from KW Customs GTR, and I love this car. I know I usually feature my own Fords and talk about Fords, but this car is just, it's absolutely amazing for me. I mean, I'm not a big Japanese sports car fan, but this one's cool. It's obviously been heavily modified. I don't think I've yet to see a standard one of these, not for a long time anyway. But Kev's obviously gone to town on this one, bearing in mind that for a living he does actually wrap cars, does the air ride, caliber painting, you name it, you know, right into like paint correction and stuff. So this car not only has pride and joy, but it's also a showpiece for what he can actually do. Now I talk about KW all the time on my Instagram. Kev's a really good friend of mine. He does a lot of work for me on my cars, do a lot of work for him on the joinery, but we are good mates, and we must be, because he's handed me the keys to this for the day. Literally, here you go film it, have fun. We will talk to Kev later on, and because obviously there's stuff that's on this car that I don't even know about. But I'll tell you what I do know and what I can see, and the comparison between something like this GTR to the one I had and the one I've got just now. This one obviously has been fitted with an Airlift Performance air ride kit on it. As far as I know, it's the 3P kit, which means it's all manual rather than automatic. But it actually drives really nice. It still feels a wee bit kind of soggy on the back end, like I'd expect for a ride, because I do have it obviously on the Mondeo, does the same thing, but it's actually quite comfy on the back roads. Now this isn't my car, so I am not going to go shooing the absolute life out of this, because one, that's not the kind of guy I am, and two, if anything did happen to it, I could live with myself doing something daft to Kev's car. But it does pull really well, as long as you've got that button on for the safety and the traction control. It'll help you sort things out, because it is, they are squirrely. Anyone who's got one of these, or if you know anyone who's got one, will always tell you that these things are a different kettle of fish. I mean, they're just foot down, and sometimes they just want to overtake you, especially if you've got all the R settings on. I know the one I've got and the one I had, if you were sitting with the R settings on and everything switched off and you were driving this car yourself, it was, you know, mind blowing. You had to literally hold on for dear life on half of the things you wanted to do, and the roads are really greasy just now, so the last thing I want to do is actually pin it and put it through a edge. So I'm going to take it easy and give it, just get open up a wee bit just when it comes to the nice straights, because it's not my car. But yeah, it is fitted with Airlift Performance's air ride on it. Nice and comfy. It seems to be the way of the world just now, Airlift. I've seen a lot of cars with it now, especially a lot around my way, with Offset Auto House being on our doorstep. Kev obviously got them to do some of the installing this one. I think he did pay the basics on it himself. But then it's been wrapped like a kind of canary yellow, easy for me to say, a canary yellow. Is outstanding. Now obviously I'm filming inside the cab at the moment. I will put some shots of what's going on outside the car, because this thing just looks the business. I mean, parked still, sitting on the air ride, it's a showpiece. It's got a carbon bonnet on it, I know that much, because I went with him to pick it up and put it in the back of the van. But he has wrapped it yellow to give it the accents on where the vents are. The clever thing with this as well is the West Forge alloys. Now I spoke to Kev about these, and they are custom to the car. Like, they actually fabricate it to suit your car. So these wheels, as far as I know, are the only set that's on a GTR. Certainly the ones that I've seen in the UK anyway, that's for sure. And Kev bought the car already with the performance pack already on it. As far as I know, the guy that had it before him was a bit anal with the car, so it's probably the ideal donor car to faff about with. Kev being Kev likes to stand out. You kind of have to if you've got like a company like KW. So as you can see above my head, we've got the kind of mood lighting that looks like, I think it's called moonlight, and it's individual LED strands that's all pieced into the ceiling, like one by one. It's actually mind-boggling. I've seen them do it to a Range Rover, and I've seen it do it to this roof, and it's quite a lot of work involved. I think there's like over 500 odd wee mini lights here, and they'll change colour, but Kev's got the settings on it, so I'll have to drive it with kind of pinky purple. So I'd have it yellow to match the car, but no for one of these ones. Looking at the car as well, there's a lot of carbon inserts, or there's a lot of genuine carbon. You can see that the wing mirrors are genuine carbon. I know for a fact that there's a blade on the top of the spoiler that is carbon, and a lower lip, but the original standard spoiler has got a set of carbon lifters on it. So rather than the standard spoiler sitting down low, I'll insert a picture here. This has got the inserts on it that actually bring it up another 4" and it looks killer. So it's easy buying all these, you know, £600-700 carbon spoilers when the standard spoiler with a lift on it looks just as good. I know it does have a Y pipe on the back box as well, with Akrapovic tips on it as well. They sound really meaty. I mean, I haven't really opened it up. I don't really want to open it up, but I do want to open it up. But it's like anything else. It's not your car and someone's giving you a loan of it. You should treat it with a wee bit more respect than you would your own one, especially when it comes to speed bumps like this. But you know, just this sound. What a noise, man! Like, what a noise! I mean, I've got everything switched on, so hopefully there's going to be no problems at all in this. But what a car! What a car! I think this video is going to be all about just seeing Butsy saying, what a car, what a car. But I mean, you think of it, I'm used to driving about in the Focus RS's, the Mark 1s, Mark 2s, the Escort RS Turbos, even the Escort Cosworth and Sierra Cosworth. Now these are cars that are, you know, they were drivers' cars back in the day, but these are like new school. So rather than sitting and you do all the work, you know, with your no ABS, no traction control, this is a big computer on wheels. But this is a different kettle of fish, the GTR. It just seems to, I mean, I'm running on the paddles, running on manual, because I just prefer the gear change up myself. If it's in automatic, it tends to want to go up the gears too quickly, and I feel if you want to plant the foot, it's got to jump down for, you know, 6th gear right down to, you know, a horrible you know, a horrible 2nd and 3rd. And that's when I think you end up losing a bit of control, because the car wants to spit itself sideways. And that's any GTRs, not just this one. And I can assure you that's exactly what it's like, because the black one I had and the white one I've got just now does exactly that. You know, you're sitting in automatic and you pin it and it does that kick down, and then it just, you have to hold on for dear life. So I like driving it in the manual. The one thing I would say about the GTRs, that I don't like how the paddles are fixed. Like, it'd be great if the paddles were actually fixed to the steering wheel, so that when you're on full lock or you're going round about, you still had that gear change available to you in your fingers. Now Kev's got carbon extenders on this and they don't feel too bad actually. The one I got back home and the one I had before, it didn't. So when you got past, like obviously your left hand going past 10 o'clock, you'd no physical gear change. You had to wait till your hands will turn back round if you want to go down or up a gear. I mean, it's no big deal, but you can hear myself, that's me waiting to go in. But if I was going in this corner just now, I can't change gear till I'm back on the straight now. So listen to that girl. It's some noise, and even if you're coming down the gears, it sounds like a blinking Formula 1 car. This may sound like I'm going 10 to the dozen, but you'd be lucky if I've went by 60 there, because I've literally just tickled the throttle down a couple of gears just to let that exhaust rip a wee bit, and we'll open up on this long straight. Just picks up so well. They're so responsive, so responsive. I do feel that the air ride, and I'm not going to slate air ride, I'm not going to slate my Kev's car by any means, but I do feel that the air ride just takes off of the handling of the car. Like it just feels quite skippy. Like we hit a couple of ruts there, and I felt the car want to kind of move to the side. And I don't know if it's because I'm trying to let off and I'm not driving it through it, but I just feel like the back end wants to wiggle, because I mean, you're basically sitting on a platform of air. That's all you're doing. So it's kind of understandable. I get why people buy the air ride. It looks cool, but to be honest with you, I mean, I got it for the Mondeo just to prove it can be done and make it look cool. But I don't think I would. I don't think I would put it to a GTR unless I was doing it like a show car like Kev does. And to be fair, he doesn't really drive this car much. Kev's not by any means a fast driver. He does look after his cars, so if he does go to sell this, he'll not done many miles, and he'll not have had his hoop kicked in either. As far as I know, the interior is standard. I don't see any real differences from this one to the one I've got. I don't think there's much to change in them. I'm sure they do an upgrade pack for like the premium editions. I might be wrong, but by all means put it in and tell me if I'm. But Kev will tell us more about the tuning packages and whatnot of the car than I ever will. I just really wanted to get a shot and have a film of driving it, because it's not often someone hands you the keys to their pride and joy, and I'm the world's worst for not letting anyone drive my cars. I think the only people that do drive my car are Kev when he's working on it, or Andy when they're working on it. I'd be petrified leaving someone in my car, especially if they binned it and something happened to it. So I switched on to manual mode just to cruise about the town. We're in a 30 zone anyways. We're already up in 5th gear and I'm only doing 25 mile an hour, if that. But it tooters away. Tooters, that's quite a Scottish word, isn't it? I love the feel of this. The inside of these cars it's not your typical Japanese. Like, I've had the Evos before and it just feels like you're sitting in a Tupperware box. At least this one is just like a cockpit. You know, you've got your television screen here, all your gauges. I'm running, it's showing boost, transmission oil pressure, engine oil temperature, transmission oil temperature, coolant temperature, so it's keeping an eye on everything under the sun. It's quite cool to watch as well because everything's digital. But you can go for being this monster supercar ear, which effectively this is to about the town kind of driving car with no issues. A bit like all the Audis, like the RS6s and 7s and whatnot. You know, they're big fast cars. My mate Gaz has got one, mental horsepower, about 850, and you pin that and it goes like the clappers. But then you can easily just twat around the town and kind of hear a thing just cruising. They'll just flick a switch or a press of the pedal and it's away they go. The thing about the GTR is its presence is just, you know, it's just massive. I mean, as soon as you see a GTR coming, you see people stop to turn around and look at it. I think it's the same as if it's the Ferraris, but the Ferraris are quite quiet, whereas this is a thug. It's a thug in a tracksuit, that's all it is. Big fast Datsuns. I do like it though, man. I do like it. I don't know if I'll hand the keys back over to Kevin this one. I thought this roof would kind of piss me off a wee bit with it being on, but it's actually quite cool. It's not in your face. I don't really see it when I'm driving either. It's not too bright. I don't know if it goes to a brighter setting, but there's nothing further forward on the car itself. It's behind obviously the sun visor, so it's not in your face. Just now and again when I look at the camera I can see it on the ceiling above. There we go, 10 mile an hour, I'm already up in 3rd gear. There you go, 4th. I haven't moved my foot off the accelerator. You can see how quickly it turns up the gears. But I mean, it's got the power to do it. And it's 5th and I'm in 30. Kind of takes away for the rip-roaring noise that you would hear off it. I think I'm just a sound addict. There's 6. There's a tunnel down here, further down the road, and I'm not going to be in automatic for that. It'd be rude not to. I think we'll put it back on manual mode and we'll give it a wee rev. Kev would like that. Kev would be alright with that. In fact, he's probably going to say when I bring this back, did you give it? Did you open it up? What do you think? because you know you want some people to be excited with your car. And I'm mega excited about driving this one. It's not often you're going to. I say it's not often. Kev's actually that sounding guy. He would give me this car if I wanted it anytime. But you just don't want to ruin other people's cars. You take the enjoyment. He bought this. He's worked hard for it. Why go and wreck it? And we built my custom garage for this to sit in. Not that I'm blowing my own horn, but I'm blowing my own horn. But it's as cool as hell. 10 metre by 5 metre garage. This, as soon as you open up the door, this sits in his motorbike, and it's a pretty cool sight to see. The thing is, even down at the unit, when you come in, this was sitting today. It just, you could have anything sitting in your mind to be taken. Your eyes will just be straight to this. The bright yellow lurking in the corner, like Bumblebee for Transformers, sitting on its arse on the air ride. It's not something you expect someone to do to the GTRs, but I'm quite glad he's done it because it does look good. Now I'm back in manual mode just now because this car's going to turn off, and then I'm going to go a back road into our town. I stay in Kilmarnock. This was the old A77, and it's just a quiet road where you can get a good drive of the car, but there's a cracking tunnel, and I think it'd be rude not to drop it. A couple of cogs going through it. I mean, everybody wants to hear the exhaust, yeah. I want to hear the exhaust. I'm not going like a kid at Christmas. Okay, we're in 4th gear. Let's hit the brakes a wee touch. Nothing's coming up behind us. There's 2nd gear. I'll hold off, a few folk coming round. And what a racket, man! I don't know if this is picking up in the microphones, but wow. I don't think there's any sound quite like the GTR. I can see why so many people want them and crave them. Tractor! We have a tractor. I think we'll manage to get by the tractor, no problem. We'll just sit behind it because I can't see. Now I can see now. So addictive, that noise. It's just so wet in these roads around here just now. So wet. I dare say Kevin managed to drive this a bit quicker than me. He's used to how it shifts, but picks up its heels so well, man. This thing is relentless. It's got so much speed. It's phenomenal. I mean, it really is phenomenal. I'm not sure on the air ride on it. I'm really not. Like, I'm not dissing Kev's car, but I am not confident with the air ride. I just feel like it wants to pull you in all the wee divots and shake its tail a bit. And I kind of really want it to be planted when I'm gunning it, so I've got confidence in the 4-wheel drive picking up. But I feel like it's that twitchy that it wants to just pull me another way, and I'm ready to make a mistake in the driving of it, and I don't want to make a mistake in this by any means. I keep talking about it, but I mean, it's not my car. This is the way you should be if someone hands you the keys to their pride and joy. But the speed of this thing is just unreal. It just picks up its heels so well. One of the manual modes is just so much fun. I mean, you're controlling when the revs change anyway, so if you think it's going to, spit, just come off the power that wee bit. If you think it's going to overrun, plant it down, bring up a gear. It's a wee bit more, you're driving the car again rather than letting the automatic gearbox decide when it's going to shift back up, especially if you want to do a high speed run up to 70. going in on 70. In Mexico, clearly. I think there's been a lot of filming in Mexico for these cars. That's one thing I did notice as well. Obviously, Kev's done recently on the back of the car. He's put put two emojis in the lights. Now, last time I saw something like that, it was Homer Simpson and Bart Simpson's eyes kind of shining through. I'll put it up. But Kev's done this to the back. I will do feature shots, obviously, of it and under bonnet. But this car's wicked. It is fitted with Magna plates on the front as well. So when we go to shows, you can whip off the plate, and it does look a bit meaner without having the registration plate in the front. And all the Magna plates is exactly that. It's just plates that are magnetised to the front of the car. Magnets in behind the bumper, and then magnets on the regi plate. The concentration in driving this, just to make sure nothing goes wrong, is wild, man. And I'm not even going fast. I think it's just the fact that this isn't my car. But I really want to open it up, but I'm just not used to it. And you know, I'd like to think I'm a good driver, but I'm not pushing this car until I find that kind of sweet spot. And I know this road well, but the air raid seems to be wanting to, you know, show up every single bump and squeak and fart on it. So we'll maybe open up on the way back down the road, take it to 70. It's illegal. Don't need to go to Mexico to do that. I would love to have one of these like mega modified. Like, I've seen a lot of them doing like 1200 odd horsepower, 1300, 1400. I've seen ones enough kicking 2000. I know Kev's this one here must be kicking off about, I'm sure he said about 700 to 800, and I've got all the settings off, so it's not even on its highest boost setting, but it just wants to take off. It's so much more responsive, and it's not laggy at all because it's a twin turbo. I mean, if I was to put my foot down and blaze, you know, I've got so much lag going through that turbo that, you know, I've seen 1 litre Corsas beat me off the line, be doing the quarter mile, because by the time you've got a build up a boost, you're going. So, but these cars are completely different to anything else. You know, I mean, if I was to have one of these, compared to if I had the choice between one of these and like a Lamborghini, I'd probably still pick one of these because you'd have a lot of money left over in your pocket. You know, between a Lambo, that equivalent to this is probably about a Hurricane, and a Hurricane's a great car, but they're 100 odd, 115, 120,000 pounds for it, whereas you could pick up one of these for 40, 50 grand. I mean, I know what Kev paid for this, I'm not going to say because it's not my place, but it was a bargain, to say the least. that's it. All done for this one. Thanks to Kev for giving me a loan of his GTR for the day. I've loved every second of being out and about in it. Thanks very much for watching the videos. I'm hoping to have another one out again soon. Although it's into the editing more than anything else. But the excitement of getting this one out was just too much to go on, especially with it not being a Ford. So thanks again for watching. Remember, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, take it easy.